Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And we're going to get into some real deep knowledge that ain't never been taught. Shit ain't never been taught. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to go to no old Mason books. You ain't gonna be able to go to no old religious texts, no old Gnostic books, no old ancient Kemet books. You ain't gonna be able to go to no shit to find this shit anywhere but Archangel Uriel channel. But look, don't get it fucked up. Throughout this video, you're gonna be listening and your spirit gonna be like, oh goddamn, I already knew this shit. What the fuck? Oh shit. Duh, thanks Uriel. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like that. Because this is something that's playing out in the third dimension. But it's actually taking its initial steps in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension first. So you are already in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension just as a spirit right now, moving around looking for a parent. And throughout this video, I'm going to explain how that's actually playing out through the 3rd dimension right now. You see what I'm saying? So let's get this motherfucker going. Now, there's a thing called a trine year, a 9 year, and a Saturn year. Now, astrology get into Saturn year a little bit when they start to talk about your Saturn return. But it is much more deeper than that from a 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional aspect. And I'm going to break that down throughout this video. So, you're going to understand the concepts of conscious bodies. You're going to understand the concepts of rings. And you're going to understand the concept of gems. This is going to be real gems, this video right here. So this video is important for everybody. Now, check this out. Before we get into what's a trine year, a 9 year, and a Saturn year, let's break down the most important years of your life. Now, this is the most important years of your life. The most important ages. All right? Pay attention. 3 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old, 12 years old, 15 years old, then the big 18, then the big 21 years old, 24 years old, 27 years old. Boom. Then that all wraps up when you become 30 years old. Then it starts over. Then 30 is the next phase. Then you got 30, 33, 39 years old. Those are the most important ages, the most important years for you. These are the years you really need to pay attention to. 42, 45, 48, 51, 51, 54, 57 years old. Then once you get to 60, that's another wrap up. You know what I'm saying? Now 60 years old, 63, 69, and so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? And you got a beginner stage all the way up to 30. Then 30 is the middle stage, all the way up to 60. Then 60 is the transformation stage. And then after that, it's added time. You know what I'm saying? But and through those years, you're supposed to be wise enough that you are obtaining and gaining more information and wisdom within 1 year than it would take for you as you was younger to learn. You see what I'm saying? But now, do you get the concept how I was going in threes? So let's go down. That's a good segue into understanding the trine year. Now, what is a trine year? A trine year, this is what you know. This is what you need to know that everything is doing. Your spirit is doing an expansion and a contraction. Expansion and contraction. This is why everything you see in the conscious yang realm in some way, shape, and form is doing a contraction, expansion from your heartbeat, from everything else, right? Now, check this out. A trine year is a full spiritual expansion before contracting again. You see what I'm saying? A full spiritual expansion before contracting again. So if you just as a spirit, your spirit is your space, and you travel through an astral realm, right? Then you got a parent, right? Now you're getting ready to be born, right? So now you're gonna become 1 year old, 2 years old, then 3 years old, right? So that's a full expansion. So as a spirit, you came from the contraction out of your mother, got born, then you started to expand. And the first expansion is a 3 year period, which we call a trine year. That would be a first expansion. And then after that 3rd year, once you turn 4 years old, you're back to your contraction state. You're going back to contraction. You know what I'm saying? Then 4, 5, 6, then you do another expansion. Then, boom, you go back to contraction again for 7, 8, 9. Then that's an expansion. Then, boom, you go to a contraction again. You see what I'm saying? So, A trine year. What is a trine year? A trine year is a full spiritual expansion before contracting again. The first year is learning about yourself. The second year is learning how to relate that externally. The third year is bringing that all together and develop a brand new conscious body for yourself. Then you're ready to contract again. You're ready to contract again for the next trine year. So you see what I'm saying? So just think about those most important years I was just explaining to you. Those are the years that you learn how to sufficiently do something. And you gain a conscious body. You gain a new awareness. So 3 years old was an awareness. 6 years old was an awareness. 9 years old was an awareness. 12 years old was an awareness. 15 years old was an awareness. 18 years old was an awareness. 21 years old was an awareness. You see what I'm saying? Every three years, you gain a conscious body. The first year is you get aware of yourself. That year be the time you be learning more about yourself. The second year is the time you be learning more how to relate that to others. The third year, you learn how to bring that together and be complete. So that be, most of the times, these be the years you get your jobs. This be the years you learn something new. These be the years you finally get in a relationship. These be, you know what I'm saying? These 3 years. The years that land on the threes. You know what I'm saying? You're 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 years old, 24. You see what I'm saying? Now, that's a trine year. Now let's get into a 9 year. Now a 9 year is a full rotation. So you see how you expanding and contraction? You expanding and contracting as a spirit, and every 3 years you gain a conscious body. So that means the expansion and contraction get bigger. So from 3 to 6 years old, like you're not going to the complete contraction anymore because you're not in your mother anymore from 1 to 3 years old. So from 3 to 6 years old, your expansion and contraction is like this now. The contraction period stopped there now. You are a person now. You know what I'm saying? Then from 6 to 9 years old, boom, you're bigger. You know what I'm saying? Your consciousness bigger. Now, when we talk about a 9 year, this is every 9 years. A 9 year is a full rotation in the astral realm, and you receive a ring, which means your rotation is much wider, aka you're much wiser. So what does that mean in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension? Now, like I said, a trine year, you develop a conscious body, right? So that 3rd year, you develop a larger expansion and contraction thing. That's a conscious body. Now, a 9 year, you did a full rotation with that conscious body. So look at it almost like a ring. You get a ring. So look at it like if they cut down a tree, and you can tell how old a tree is based upon the rings. This is how we kind of calculate your spiritual age in the realm of reality that you are in. So your rotation is you do a full rotation. So once you turn 9 years old, that means you did a full rotation. You earn a ring. You know what I'm saying? Then you go to the 9 years old again. 18. Once you turn 18, right? You earn another ring. So that means your rotation is wider. Whatever routine or pattern you in this dimension is you have more. You're more experienced in it. AKA your rotation is much wider in that realm of reality or that dimension, and you in the 3rd dimension right now. So you should be much wiser in the circumstance and situation that you grew up in. You see what I'm saying? And then from 18, you know what I'm saying? 9 years from that, motherfucker, you get a much wider. That would be to 27. 27 years old, right? So that's a 9 year. A 9 year is a full rotation in the astral realm, and you receive a ring, You know what I'm saying? So every 9 years, every 3 years, you receive a new conscious body. Every 9 years, you receive a ring, right? Now, what's a Saturn year? A Saturn year is a completion of 3 rings. So by the time you get ready to turn 30, that should be your Saturn return. By the time you get ready to turn 60, that should be your Saturn return. You see what I'm saying? So every 30 years. So 999, right? So that take you all the way to 27, right? But here's the thing. Then once you turn 27, you earn a ring, but you got to finish up all the way to 30 for it to be a completion. So for the most part, a Saturn year is a completion of 3 rings, which makes a gem, where you actually create a form or a light body for yourself in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So when you get a ring, when you get a gem, you create a conscious body for yourself in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You see what I'm saying? And how do you get a gem? You get a gem, 3 rings make a gem. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do you get a ring? Right? 9 years. Every 9 years you get a ring. You see what I'm saying? So every 9 years you get a ring. So it take 3 conscious bodies to create a ring, because every 3 years you develop a new conscious body. Now, 3 conscious bodies develop a ring. So every 9 years you get a ring. That means your astral rotation is much wider. You see what I'm saying? To rotate. So you get a ring. Now, every 30 years you get a gem. So 3 rings make a gem. So from 1 years old to 9 years old, you get a ring. From 9 years old to 18 years old, you get another ring. You know what I'm saying? So you turn 18. Boom. Then 18 to 27, you get 3 rings. But the last connection of that 3rd ring will have to be till you turn 30. Boom. Then at completion, once you get 3 rings, that creates a gem. Now, the same way 3 years let you get a conscious body down here, 3 rings makes you get a conscious body in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. And we call it a gem. So, you know what I'm saying? 3 rings makes a gem. So 3 conscious bodies makes a ring, so a trine year makes a conscious body. And 3 trine years is 9 years, right? So 3 conscious bodies makes a ring. So a 9 year makes a ring, right? And then 30 years makes a gem. So now we got that clear, right? So that's a gem. And what is a gem? A gem is a form, or it's a light body that you created for yourself in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. So the same way you created light bodies for yourself here, you got a light body there. Now, here's the thing, right? You need 7 gems to fully submerge yourself in the rainbow waters of the life of the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, to fully be a being without no resonance or reflections on the 3rd dimension anymore. You have to have 7 rings. Now, here's the thing, right? Go ahead and do your own calculation, and you can kind of figure out, how do you get 7 rings? So now you come into the conclusion, like, man, I might not even live this whole life and get all these rings. You're not supposed to set your mind up to think you're going to get all the rings in one lifetime. You can, though. We're going to get into that. But for the most part, all the gems. But for the most part, a lot of people have to live here 2 or 3 times before they get all the gems. You see what I'm saying? And some people stick themselves here. That's like a person who never grow up, a person who keep living dumb, keep repeating the same mistakes. Then when they die, they didn't even get the first gem. Some people die early, or even if they die old, they didn't even get the first gem. But for the most part, this is how, even if you're not ready and you keep repeating the routine over and over and over, slowly but surely, sooner or later, you're still going to end up getting 7 gems, because you're gonna die and keep coming back here. So for the most part, now here's the thing. One lifetime, let's say you live to like 80 or 90 years old, right? Now, like I said, 30 years makes you get 1 gem, right? So like I said, you need 7 gems. So if you live to like 90 years old, right, that means you only have got 3 gems. That means you're going to die and come back here, right? So this is correlated to Pluto, you know what I'm saying? Transformation and stuff like that. So Pluto is what actually transform you and help you come back here to finish your duty and test, or situation or circumstance for you to finish out your gems, right? So you may come here and your life may not be as long as it was when you was previously here. You may die even earlier at an earlier age if you complete your gems. You know what I'm saying? But it's on you. But for the most part, yeah, then you will live another 90 years when you come back, right? And then you'll get 3 more gems. Then the next life, right, you're going to die real long. You're going to die real young on your last gem. That means you come as a young person, but you wiser than everybody you older than. You end up, your spirit could do all kind of shit in this body. You end up being super successful. You could do all kind of shit, but you get killed real early or something like that. Because you probably got a gym. You probably end up turning 20 years old. And things that look like XXX, Temptation. He's a good representation of this. He probably just got his 7th gym. He probably already had 2 lives before and lived to 90 already before. And then soon as he was getting ready to, I think he turned 20. You know what I'm saying? The year he turned 20, he was already 18. Now you get a fucking gym 30 years, but who knows how many times he been here. You see what I'm saying? So he died so early, he probably was on his last gym. Now for the most part, like I said, the gym, now you might have to come here and live like 2.5 lives. You know what I'm saying? Almost. It's almost like a transit. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the cardinal fixed mutable. Kind of like everything works in that kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, even from the years, your best years, how I lined them up. And even from it being a trine year, 9-year, Saturn year. You see what I'm saying? And how it's calculated. Now, for the most part, you could live here and be stupid as fuck and end up getting 7 gems, right? And then end up being a truly submerged 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional being, right? And these 7 gems play out like you finding a parent and you creating your chakra system in a 4th, 5th, and 6th dimensional level, basically. So all the wisdom and knowledge you're learning here is you developing your consciousness to go there. Now here's how you can skip and obtain quicker gems here than other people. Now, this is a ring thing. Now, say you like 18 years old, but you hang around a lot of 30-year-olds, or you hang around a lot of like older people and shit like that, right? You're gonna create the possibility of gaining a ring faster than someone else, because your mentality and the way that you are experiencing life, you're gaining way more wisdom in one period of time than your predecessors, than the people in your age group. So for the most part, it's like you will act older than your age. If you see what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. You'll be much more wiser than your age. And so like if you're 18 and you're hanging with a bunch of 27 and 30-year-olds and shit like that, that's what actually happened. So the 9-year period you go through to get a ring, it's almost like you get 2 rings, because not only do you get the ring with your age group because you turned 18, but you also get an understanding of the ring from when you about to be 27 to 30. So you end up getting 2 rings. You end up getting 2 rings in the time length of 1, just because of how you was living. You see what I'm saying? So it will play out as you being much wiser. Now here's how a person won't even miss a ring. They'll be living stupid, hanging with a bunch of younger people, or doing a bunch of things that's not their age. Therefore, they're not growing up and they're not paying attention to their surroundings. So they'll miss a ring. So it'll play out to them like they're 18 or they're 30 or they're 39 or they're 9 years old, acting like a 3-year-old, 18-year-old acting like a 12-year-old. You see what I'm saying? A 30-year-old acting like a 21-year-old. So for the most part, you missed a ring. You didn't gain the wisdom and knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So you missed a ring. So therefore, you gotta live another trine year, another 9-year to get a ring that you should have already got. So your life and your living condition gonna be down here way more longer than someone else's pattern and rotation. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, all right. So I just explained how you can skip the process, and I just explained how you stay here in the process. Now, the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, right? It's life, just like here, but it's more in an instant. So I don't want you to think like, compare it. When you get there, you're not going to know anything different the same way you in this body right now, and you don't know anything different. So you need to take this in consideration like this. Look at how many people who don't know themselves here now. Look at how many people live in fear now. Look how many people worship things outside of them here now. Look how many people are indoctrinated and institutionalized now. You know what I'm saying? And just add way more intensity to that. And that's the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Like, add way more reality to that. What you think is real, in reality, this, in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you don't know what the fuck is real. Same way you think you really ain't sure what's real here. You really ain't gonna know what the fuck is real in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like here, just way more in your, like, all right, how can I break this down? Okay, it's like you become a star, basically, but you is a star here. I don't see why y'all don't understand that. So for the most part, it's like this. You're going to look at the world the same way the being we are in right now look at the world. You're inside a living being. So this is what you need to understand. When you get there, right, you're going to be born. Now, check this out. Say, all right, say you in a religion in 3D, in the 3rd dimension right now, right? Now, you know how you get those feelings like, man, I know I need to go to church. And then you know how you get those feelings like, man, I know I need to praise. And then you know how you get those feelings like you not doing right, so now you need to read the book or something like that. All right, now in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you're going to be doing that literally. Like when you're down here saying, man, I'm in search, I'm just in search for love. In the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you're literally going to be in a search for love. You're literally going to be on an astral travel, trying to search for the space and location of love. And just by being in that mentality, you're never going to find it, because love is something you make in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. Love is something you create. So you have to make it. It's like in the 3rd dimension, y'all get lost. It's like your spirit always trying to tell you what's right, but y'all get lost into the illusions and man-made interpretations of it. So when you say I'm high as hell, believe what your spirit is telling you. So when you with your, if you a guy, you with your girlfriend, or you a girl, you with your guy, y'all get ready to fuck or something like that, and you say, let's make love, right? Pay attention to what you said. It's not about y'all fucking. It's about y'all about to go into the kitchen and whip up some love. Whip up, and y'all about to cook it. And it's like elements and chemicals that's needed to cook it. And it could be a dish that's served. Like, that's how we see it in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You have to make it. It ain't something you search for. So in the 3rd dimension, y'all get lost. Y'all be like, oh, I gotta look for it. I just want to make love to somebody. So you end up trying to look for the right relationship. Then you end up never finding a person you can make love with. You end up just getting fucked out of your brains every fucking night. You know what I'm saying? And then never really truly being satisfied. Where in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, that's what's your spirit is just looking for love. And in the 3rd dimension, it's playing out as you being lost, looking for love, constantly going through experiences with people that's constantly taking advantage of you because you in search for love. Where you need to understand that in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, love is something you make. So you go to the space and location where beings that know how to cook shit. It's almost like shit, how you learn how to cook down here, or how you learn how to fix a car. Same way up there. Boom, you go learn there. You learn what shit you need to buy with your currency, because you already a millionaire up there, and the stores up there and everything. You learn what you need to go buy, right? Then you go buy the shit. Then you go make some love, and you could go make a bunch of different shapes and forms out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? To go into experience, and then you could go into that realm, and depending on how expanded or contracted you is, you can play that out through all your vessels that's within you. Or similar of them, or pieces of them. You know what I'm saying? And all of them could play out that. It's like it's I don't know how to explain this to y'all that for it to make sense. But it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to make love. And in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, you know what I'm saying? Everything is in a circumstance and situation where it's like it's at an instant. So say you got a goal or you got a dream. You gotta go. You gotta dream. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to. It's like it's in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You are it. It's like it is what it is. It's like you are it. If you want to make love, you are. You have to be love. If you want to have a dream, you have to be the dream. So whatever the dream is, you have to be that dream. It's not a situation like you have to go get a job or you have to go do this or that. No, you have to be that dream. And then that dream actually play out. Now, you have to be careful when you talk about having dreams in the 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension. You know what I'm saying? Because that really don't exist in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Really, you really want to know, when you go to sleep and dream, you're in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So if you got any attachment to the third dimension, you will be reminded in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. You will be reminded in your dream. You will either wake up, you will either look in the mirror, you will either look at yourself and you will look like how you look in the third dimension. You will end up doing things that you do in the third dimension. And then these are low vibrational things in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. So these things always play out as slow. They play out as slow or non-understanding or familiarity. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension don't fuck with familiarity. It don't fuck with familiarity like that. The way y'all look at it like down here. Y'all try to make shapes and forms out of familiarity. So y'all try to make procedures and routine out of what's familiar. And in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, that is just a frequency. That is just an energy signature. Familiarity. You have to be careful with even being in that space and location. Because being too familiar with something, you start attaching it to yourself and it becomes a responsibility. And it could blind you sometimes. Because having a burden, a responsibility, a book bag, or glasses in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, whatever, however you want to say, that's what it would look like. It actually plays as a blinder. So you'll end up thinking you can't go in certain places because you have this. And then because you have this with you, that burden with you, that light, that conscious body with you. And then certain places in the astral realm, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension, sometimes you're not even allowed in that space having certain consciousness, having certain light bodies, being in certain spaceships. You're not even allowed to travel there. And once you travel there, something gonna happen. You fuck up. Either you're going to get into some beef or a misunderstanding. It's like the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Look, we're going to really start getting into this shit in my in these videos and shit too. But I want to actually break down the archons also. What the fuck is the archons? And who the fuck is Yao de Baoth? Because people don't understand, Yao de Baoth is actually the Leo star constellation. This is actually the solar plexus. Yao de Baoth. But we're going to get all in that. We're going to get into all that motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Yao de Baoth is the solar plexus. It's the first solar plexus of this realm of reality right here. So look at it like this. Say you are a spirit floating through the astral realm as a space, and you're looking for another realm of reality to go into. So you have to go into a realm that with a group of spirits that been there before you, aka they already got spaceships and conscious bodies for you to have some form of information with that new experience, so you could be developed there, aka get a parent to go into. So you go into their world, right? Now check this out. Once you go in there, right, you start to develop your chakra system, your solar system, the same way that they did, right? Now check this out. Look at our ecliptic and our 12 zodiac sign, our pi wheel. This is our person. This is the person we are in, right? Now the person's solar plexus is the sun that we see now, right? The solar plexus was originated from the Virgo constellation. So it got pushed out from the feminine earthy energy, right? And once it got pushed out, it got maleistic characters. So now it's a masculine energy. This is why I be telling y'all everything is based off relativity. When one energy don't have something, it gets attracted to the other energy. Then when it don't has the other one, it gets attracted to the other one. This is why planets are able to rotate with each other. And this is why you got masculine, feminine, masculine, feminine. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we talk about Yao de Baoth, right? Now, this actual star became the solar plexus and started creating the spirit that went into that, wanted to be aware of itself and created its own body, right? So for the most part, that's when this realm started getting created, right? And then the first parts that started getting created in this realm is the gut area. And the gut area and the first being of that was Yao de Baoth, right? So Yao de Baoth was basically like it took a form. So as a spirit, it went into the realm of reality. So when you create a light body for yourself, a conscious body, and when you go into a parent, it's like a fluid. It works in a frequency wave. It's like a fluid. It's like a wave. So as a spirit, Yao de Baoth went into a form, and this form looks snaky-like, which y'all would call sperm, a sperm fluid or something like that. This is a little man, a little daughters of man, sperm fluid. Men make little bodies, little sperm cells. The sperm fluid is the world that all the sperm cells live in. You are a adult sperm cell right now, living in a spermal fluid, which is the realm that we are in. Now, I don't like to use the word sperm because everything is just fluid. Now, just that level of life itself, that one-dimensional level of life, that's just one of the first light bodies you create for yourself in order to develop to come into the second dimension level of life, then the third dimension level of life. But at the same time, these are all bodies. So Yada Baoth is that first sperm fluid, right? That aka solar plexus, aka light body, aka fleshly fluid, right? And as a spirit, it went in there to be aware of itself. So that first body looked snake-like, and this is why they gave it the presentation of a lion face, a lion head, because that's the period of time we was going through. So it could very well be possible that when we was creating the Leo constellation, we were all actually blood cells in the animal lion, the lion animal at that time. And at that time, our consciousness was animalistic consciousness. We were animals. We were that animal at that time. So the way we seen God, the way we seen everything as we evolved, and from a fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension later on in life, we come down into this level. We try to understand it, and then the best way we could try to understand it is still in an animalistic way. Let me stop this video. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn air.